Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Bowl TV. My name is Matt Cannizzaro, and it is nearly time for the Stepladder finals of the ITRC Classic, the second event of the 2021 PWBA Tour season. It's going to get underway here live from Arlington, Texas. Cannot wait. The position round had more excitement than Six Flags next door to the ITRC. We've got a great show, great competitors. We're going to have the rundown here in just a minute on the pregame show, and then these fine folks about to join me here for the pregame will take it away. Let me introduce them right now. First up, it is the tour champion many times over, the USBC and PWBA Hall of Famer, Carolyn Doran Ballard. Welcome to the show. And
hi, Matt.
Hi, Carolyn. Cannot wait to hear what you guys have in store for us tonight. Looking forward to it. And joining you on the show, along with Aaron Smith, will be from the Out of Range podcast and the Bowling News, Tony Franklin, who is a character in his own right. You guys have known each other for a very long time. The dynamic will be great. There's Aaron Smith. Let's get this thing going. All right. Well, first up, we're going to give the rundown of who our four competitors will be tonight. They bowled 9 games of qualifying yesterday at the ITRC, 43-foot oil pattern. The top 12 made the cut to match play. 12 games of round robin competition today. Bonus pins on the line throughout. And man, what a position round. Let's see. Looking at the number 1 seed, Bryanna Cote shoots 801 her last 3 games of match play to jump into the top spot with a dramatic match against Jillian Martin. But before that, Dasha Kovalova of Ukraine. She is the number 2 seed. We've seen her have some fireworks on TV with the 300. She's also a major champion. She jumped into that number 2 spot again. We'll talk about that drama here in 1 second. Jillian Martin, the number 3 seed, 16-year-old phenom. I know you guys are going to have a lot to talk about there, Carolyn. You know her very well from some youth events around the country. Cannot wait to hear that analysis. And finally, in the 4 seed, Liz Johnson, the Hall of Famer. She bowled so well yesterday. She managed to hold on to the 4 seed today, losing the last 7 matches of the day. That is how well she bowled yesterday. Wow. Before we get going here, Carolyn, what are your thoughts there just hearing that rundown?
Well, actually, you have a little bit of everything for this TV match. You have your leader, Bryanna, who for quite some time, I think it was probably 2 to 3 years ago, she really teetered back and forth with whether I'm going to stick with 15 pounds or I'm going to go to 14 pounds. Am I going to stay with 15 pounds? She stuck it out. She went to 14 pounds, and her bowling has improved so much over the last 3 years. And here she finds herself leading the tournament. Dasha, no stranger at all to TV. She was awesome in college, shooting 300 in TV. She's ready to take on any challenge. Jillian Martin, I have seen her bowl for the last 4 years at every SYC event, and she takes to the lanes like she is there to win. Everyone is trying to catch Jillian. Jillian is not trying to catch them. And Liz, well, besides being one of my besties, she is the GOAT. Liz is no stranger to anything. She can get up and throw it when she has to, and she is always mentally tough.
All right, Tony, you got to watch some of the action with us this week. And then today, of course, our first match is a rematch now from earlier today. Of course, everybody met up at least once during match play. Jillian Martin took Liz Johnson to school, 289-220 in their meeting. Here's a second chance for Liz. What are your thoughts on this opening match and for the whole show tonight?
Yeah, so first off, really excited to be here. Great opportunity. Carolyn, we talked about Jillian Martin there, so you've seen her a lot. Is she not going to be intimidated at all by Liz or this moment? That's the big question mark for me.
Right. I got to tell you, I don't think she is, because if you think back to when you were younger, and I've watched you bowl since you were younger, I think there's that fearlessness. Right. Hey, I am 16. This is not my career yet. I'm here having fun. And I think it's all about just, hey, I want to do what I love to do. I don't think she's thinking yet of, oh gosh, I can be a title holder. Or, oh gosh, I'm going to join the tour. I think this is still, I love it. I'm young and I'm just doing what I love.
Yeah. I think there's a lot to that, right? She is, she's out there having fun. She's smacking around people she's probably looked up to before and probably still looks up to today.
Right.
Look at the score sheet. Liz
Right.
Jonathan Hoff. It says so right on the label, right? You can't miss that she's a Hall of Famer. So I don't know. I cannot wait to see that first match, just to see. They're going to be fresh. When they finished and they bowled earlier, I think they were broken down a little bit, which I think probably leads a little bit more towards Jillian's power game. So I think that's really going to be the interesting piece of this is on the fresh. Can Jillian hang with Liz?
Well, that's funny you brought that up, because on the fresh, my first reaction would be Liz probably has a little bit of an advantage because her ball doesn't hook a lot on the back. Yeah. Liz likes to play the fronts in the middle. So she wants her ball to be as smooth as possible when they're fresh, where, like you just said, which is a great analogy about Jillian. Jillian has no problem making that move to the left, and probably at times quicker than she needs to, but the ball always recovers. Yeah. So,
well, they both gave us some big thrills this week on the fresh and throughout. Jillian actually has the highest game of the week so far at the ITRC, 299. That was a thriller. Aaron Smith loved it, and she left a 4-pin on her final shot. And then today, just a little more drama again in the position round. Jillian Martin was again in the lead at the moment, going to try to make a tie for the number 2 seed. Would have forced a 1-game roll-off with Dasha Kovalova. Jillian left a 10-pin. She fouled on the delivery, needed that 10-pin, picked up. She forced the tie, and again, now she is the number 3 seed, 1 pin behind Dasha. So a huge moment there. Just an unfortunate miscue. But again, to make the show at 16 years old, to make match play at both events, don't forget that. Plus, she now has the Hall of Fame Classic. Definitely the top key storyline coming into tonight. But 4 great players and just so many cool stories to tell along the way.
So how much practice do we get here? Is it 10 minutes or 15 minutes that they get? We're not sure. Carolyn, do you remember?
That is a great question.
Again, just kind of thinking through what's the breakdown going to be.
Yeah, that's a great question, because
just to try and figure out.
I have an answer for you guys.
We have the experts.
Hey, Jason, what's the answer?
It's 20 minutes. There's 20 minutes of practice on the championship pair before the show starts. The numbers 1 and 2 seeds will move off the pair with 5 minutes left to go, and then the 3 and 4 seeds will get the rest of the time.
All right.
That is great info, Jason. Thank you. And that means we have plenty more time to talk and analyze what's about to happen here on the Stepladder. Again, this is the second event of this kickoff classic series at the ITRC. First event, the Bowlers Journal Classic, wrapped up earlier this week. Shannon Oakley reestablishing her dominance on the PWBA tour, taking the title. She, of course, was the last PWBA champion in 2019 before we had the year off for COVID-19. But she made a statement in the first one, just missed the show for this one. But it looks like it'll be somebody else's turn tonight. But who's it going to be? Tony, some additional thoughts here. Again, once somebody gets past that first match, right, you got the greatest and the youngest. Somebody's going to take on Dasha Kovalova, who has proven already that she can show up in the big situations as well. And then, of course, Bryanna waiting for her chance to, again, as Carolyn said, just really establish herself as a superstar out here.
Yeah, Dasha, for my money, she gets it into the lane better than any other professional lady bowler out there. I love the tall backswing, and it's so smooth and gets out of it so clean. I absolutely love watching Dasha bowl. She's one of my absolute favorites, also one of my favorites to talk to, because she is the most unique person out there. I love it.
Yeah, Carolyn, you've had a chance to spend a lot of time watching these ladies bowl in person, bowling against them, and on the TV shows as well. How about some thoughts on again, our top 2 seeds and what you've seen of them in their careers so far?
Well, I actually saw Dasha bowl for the very first time. I think she had just turned 14, and I was overseas, and I met her mom. And just, a cutie then, honest to God, she was. She was just such a pleasure to be around. But you knew just watching her that she was going to, blossom into this honestly extremely talented bowler. And then attending Wichita State only put icing on the cake. I think that's where she really found herself, and talking with her. I think she always knew she was talented, but getting to Wichita, it brought in that whole atmosphere of, I want to be a bowler. I know I have all of the tools, and now I'm here to make it the best it can be before I go out on tour. And she's done it. And she has a great family behind her, and she's always had a lot of support. So she does not bowl scared. Dasha does not bowl scared. I don't care what her look is on the lanes. She is going to give it 110% every time she throws the ball.
Tony, her televised 300 came against Liz Johnson. Liz was the top seed, but are we going to see a rematch of that tonight? Does Liz get past Jillian to get some revenge against Dasha?
I still think it's going to be really difficult for Jillian to shake the nerves. But I think in this environment as well, it's the same environment she's bowled in all week. There's no big television cameras. The place is pretty empty. There's no other bowlers. So then it's just kind of feels like maybe a midnight practice session where you're the only one in the house. But you got a great reaction. So that's the nice thing. So I think it is going to be tough for Jillian, but I've heard nothing but high praise from everybody from the beginning of the week about her skill level and just her overall humble attitude. That's the way it was put to me today, is regardless of the success and the fun she's clearly having, super humble.
All great stuff. Carolyn, also, we had a chance to talk to Tony earlier in the week. We haven't talked to you, but for some initial thoughts, bowling is back. PWBA is back. This season is unprecedented. 20 events, added prize money, so much opportunity. And then, of course, this classic series format that allows the players to have 3 different events plus a regional all in one place. But to turn on Bowl TV and see PWBA bowling, to turn on social media and see all the talk right now about especially the young phenom, the Hall of Famer, just going at it right here. What are your initial thoughts just about turning on bowling this week?
I think it's fantastic. And I've been, sharing a bunch of stuff because as much as and of course I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm sure this will come back. Someone will be sending me a text or a message. I love the men's tour. I do. But I felt we always played second fiddle. So I think this is a great way to start the PWBA season with, the formation of 3 events in one venue, trying out the bubble. Obviously, so far it's working, right? Let's knock on wood. Everything has been great. So it is possible. And I think this was a fantastic way to set the season apart from what has happened in the past and set like a new tone. I mean, it's a little bit of a different atmosphere, 3 events in one. And I think it's great. And I think come April, when we're back, after a little bit of break, it's going to be even better.
All right. Now, Tony, it's already exciting. We've established that. And strikes are exciting. And we definitely saw a lot of strikes thrown on this 43-foot oil pattern. It took an average of nearly 235 to make this step ladder. Tell us about that aspect of it, and just the excitement of a big scoring match, and just what that means for the fans at home. And I know you guys are going to get crazy in the studio too.
Matt, thank you so much. I do like the strikes. I love the 6-baggers. I know Carolyn would say, Tony, how about let's mix in some spares? Carolyn loves a good spare. However, I like the strings. And the last 2 days, this tournament has given me exactly that. Liz was averaging 250 for a big portion of the qualifying rounds. A lot of high scores in the last, really just the last 2 or 3 games of match play tonight. Really flipped the top 4 upside down. So I'm enjoying it. And again, I enjoy anything that's highly competitive, whether it's 195 to 192 or 279 to 268. I'm good with it either way. But Carolyn, to your point, it is great. There's no reason for the ladies to play second fiddle to any other bowling program out there. So let's show off some of their talent. And you saw that on display. I mean, you got a 16-year-old out here who's just crushed racks all week long.
And that's a testament really to, and I know Matt and Aaron will probably touch on it a little bit later, but I mean, that is a testament to all of the people that support bowling, all of the companies. They've allowed these young players, these youth bowlers, there's so many youth events now across the country. They have so many opportunities to be so much further ahead in the game of bowling, both mentally and physically, than we ever know. So they're much more ahead than I was. And I think that's what bowling has done and evolved at the youth level.
Yeah, totally agree with that. That's the best part. All the, you mentioned the Storm Youth Championships where you've really gotten a chance to meet Jillian, and that's just one of many. Junior Gold obviously has been kind of the linchpin in really building up the youth bowling across the country.
All right, now let's talk for a minute about this venue. Carolyn, you're very familiar with the ITRC. You've worked in the building. You've bowled for a title at the ITRC. Nothing like it. No facility in the world. And what they've done this week to make everything safe, I think that's definitely something that should be touched on. What the players and staff have been able to do with keeping the protocols and procedures in place with the hotel and at the venue. There's one fan in the building right now that's John Martin. So advantage Jillian that she gets to have her dad with her. But tell us about this venue, the facility. Of course, it's the ITRC Classic and a very meaningful space for bowling and training.
I remember when this was being built, and I'm good friends with Neil Stremmel, and I remember the excitement in his voice talking about what they were going to do with this building. I actually was still on the USBC board at the time when this all came about, and the vision, it was no matter who talked about this building going up, everyone was just so excited because we didn't have anything like this. I mean, the only thing we really had was Reno Stadium. Yeah. So to bring this to Arlington and have a home for Team USA and Junior Team USA and all of the international teams that come to train here with Rod when he was the head coach of Team USA, there's just no other place to be. The other unique thing about the ITRC is every lane to me is different. And I know we talk a little bit about topography, but it's different in the aspect of you can put down different shots. You can do whatever you want at the ITRC. So it allows you to really enhance your game at another level. And again, every lane is not the same, right? As we all know when we bowl, but it's the epitome of where you need to go train.
Hey, it's true. I mean, the next time I double at the ITRC will also be the first time that I've doubled at the ITRC. Yeah.
I needed to strike, and I left a ring 10, so I get it. I'm with you.
That's why I'm so impressed with all the strikes they're throwing today. I didn't think it was possible. So they have proved everyone wrong. The ITRC can be high scoring as well.
All right. Well, very cool stuff there. Again, an amazing facility, not only for elite players, but for all players. Bowlers come from all around the world to train with the staff at the ITRC, all the tools to make you a better bowler. Great support this week for this event, the ITRC Classic. Very much appreciated. Also to Bowlers Journal earlier in the week. Aaron Smith will be with us again all night giving away prizes. So he's the guy you want to be nice to. We've got all kinds of good stuff coming up. Bowling balls. We've got a PS4, all kinds of things this week. It's just it's unreal, and Aaron Smith is like it's like Santa for bowling.
Oh, Santa for bowling.
I've been called worse, so that's but yeah, folks, especially for those of you still tuned in on Facebook, if you're already on Bowl TV, that means you've already subscribed, and we thank you for that. But for the folks on Facebook, this is what we're going to be giving away today: a Brunswick knockout. That's one. Boom. You know what number 2 is? A Storm bowling ball. Your choice. Like I don't know if you can go old school like Tour Powers or X Factor Originals or anything like that. I'm going to guess it's current line, but I would at least ask that first personally. And then finally, I know Carolyn's going to like this one: a Rotogrip RSTX1.
It's our newest ball. It is our newest high performance ball. I just used that today for the old 727 at the old Bolero today.
Oh.
There we go.
And I don't strike there either. So it has to be the ball.
Gotta be.
Come on, you strike everywhere, CDB.
No.
And then the final giveaway today is a PlayStation VR. So 4 things being given away. You still got time to head over to Bowl TV. We're going to be cutting the Facebook stream here in just a couple minutes, 3 or 4 minutes before we get ready for the showtime. 8:15 for score, and then Stepladder final time, folks. So head over to bowl.com, click Join Bowl TV to subscribe. You'll be all set. Matt, back to you, bud.
All right, sir. Thank you. And folks, keep an eye out for all those great prizes tonight. Subscribers only. So you had a few minutes left to get that taken care of before we get underway. Back to the action. Carolyn, you mentioned the experience on this show tonight. Of course, we've got the first timer and we've got the all timer. And you've kind of been in both perspectives of that. Can you remember back when you made your first show, when you were the youngster out there? Just some of the feelings that you had, and maybe those same feelings never went away, and you had many appearances later. But can you describe what Jillian Martin might be feeling now as she's getting ready to get under the TV lights?
Yeah, my first TV show was The Doubles with Lisa Wagner, and I was an absolute nervous wreck. So I did not perform well our first match. Thank God we won, but I didn't. In the final match, thank God, I threw a strike in the 9th frame and she struck out. We wound up winning, but I was a nervous wreck. And honestly, I'm going to tell you this to this day, when I bowl PWBA or something that's, important or has pressure put on that, I'm always nervous. I always felt if you weren't nervous, I don't know. I just think that's I think it's strange to say you're so passionate about something and you want something so much that you're not nervous, but you have to figure out a way how to take those nerves and put them in a pocket somewhere to make them productive, because your nerves can really get the best of you if you don't know how to manage them. And going to what Tony said, although I don't think Jillian is scared, I do think there are nerves. Not being scared and not having nerves are two totally different things. Yeah. I think she's reeling in this moment, but there's no way you can tell me she's not nervous, because she wants to win. She wants to perform. But it's a feeling I don't think that ever leaves you. I don't think nerves or wanting it ever leaves. It's just how you manage it throughout your career as to whether you put them to your advantage or if they take advantage of you.
All right. Very well said, Carolyn. Looking forward to seeing what happens here in our opening match. It is Liz Johnson, the 24-time titleist, taking on 16-year-old Jillian Martin, the Junior Team USA member, looking to make a little bit of history here tonight at the ITRC for the ITRC Classic. That is just about time for me to get going here, for you three to take over and run this show. I appreciate it. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. Aaron Smith, I'm going to let you take it away. Good luck to all the competitors tonight. And you guys all have a great show.
Thank you, Matt, and everyone, especially on Facebook. We're going to be signing off here. We're going to get going in just a second. So head on over, subscribe, Bowl TV, ITRC Classic. It's the time, but we're going away, and we'll be right back here on Bowl TV.
Oh my goodness. And there it is. Wow, get to go. Oh.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to BowlTV.com, the Stepladder Finals. Moments away here at the ITRC Classic. Aaron Smith, joined by the Hall of Famer, Carolyn Doran Ballard, and from the Outer Range Podcast. one heck of a nice guy as well. Tony Franklin joining the show. And we're going to be getting underway here in just a moment. The final shots of practice at the ITRC. And before we get going too far here into anything, we have a ton of great sponsors here on the PWBA Tour. And we're going to be recognizing them throughout the course of the week. And folks, the New Brunswick Knockout featuring the proven Melee Core and Savvy Hook 3.0 solid cover stock is available now. We're going to be giving one away today as well, so that's going to be fun. Be sure to check it out at brunswickbowling.com for more information. Now, Carolyn, Tony, we're just moments away. You guys did a great job of kind of summing up where everyone is here heading into this first match. As we get ready for it, I'm going to throw it over to you guys to kind of take care of business here, like I know you can. But what's going to be the key here for Jillian? I know everyone is wondering what's the pressure is going to be like for her. What's going to be the one key that she needs to do here to find her way to win?
Well, I'll tell you what, Carolyn, in the pregame, I was talking about fresh condition gives the advantage to Liz, aside from the fact that Liz has all the titles 5 times over. But I've sat here and watched practice, and Jillian has flushed every single shot. So I'm going to have to retract off of that, and let's just see how it goes.
I love that. That's great. I like how she put the pressure on Liz to start first, finish last.
Classy shot to start with. That's what you would expect from Liz.
Yep. And one of the things you'll see out of Liz too, as the lanes break down, it's traditional Liz style to just start throwing the ball a little bit harder, where she doesn't have to necessarily move off of the area where she's playing.
Yeah, that really is her sweet spot, and what makes her such a borderline impossible player to beat is that ability to not have to move to get the job done.
Right. And we've talked about it a lot throughout the years. Or the other option is ball up, ball down. Anything to allow her to keep doing her A game, because it's so good.
Yeah, absolutely. So for everybody, this is Jillian Martin. Welcome to the world, right? 16 years old, first professional event. And here she is, bowling Liz Johnson, first time, first shot.
And how you like that view, folks? How about that?
Yeah, the nerves looked really, really tough right there, didn't they, Carolyn?
I thought it was absolutely a great shot for her first shot on TV. Although I'm going to throw this at you, Tony. Who does she remind you of?
It's not going to take me long to answer this one. I'm going to go to my one and only all-time favorite bowler, Miss Tammy Jean Turner.
I could not agree with you more. Right at the bottom.
Yep. Nobody had better leverage. It's the same exact backswing, and the way, and Jillian, she gets out of it even softer.
It's soft hand. Yeah. Correct. Soft hand.
It's like that Pete Weber combo platter right there. Ooh, that was a mouthful to get down to the 10 pin. Yep. And you said that you've had the great opportunity to see her. I have heard stories about Jillian, and coming into this week was really excited to get to see her for the first time. And, she's made the match play in both events. But when you've had that opportunity to see her at some of the youth tournaments, what struck you aside from the phenomenal physical game?
I think it's more about the composure. She doesn't seem to, if she's not bowling well, of course, you're going to see it a little bit, just a little bit of the frustration, but it's the composure. She's very even keeled. She's bowling good. She's bowling not so good. The composure stays the same. So she's able to really focus in on what she needs to do. And I think that's what makes her unbeatable at a lot of the SYC events and the other junior gold and all the other events that you see her participate in around the country.
Yeah, that's a great point. Is she in that kind of unbeatable category for the kids?
Right now, yes.
Yeah. Speaking of unbeatable, And you can say what you want, Liz, the all-timer. I would never use the GOAT terminology, especially not in your presence, because I haven't made up my mind yet who is the GOAT, and I wouldn't presume to say anything different, Miss CDB. But Liz has not won a singles PWBA tournament since 2017. So she's got some hunger right now too, right? She hasn't won in years.
One thing about Liz is she never not has the hunger. I mean, if you watch what she bowls all around the country, my God, she won the Peterson, for God's sake.
That's true.
I mean, come on. She got that a little right. Oh, yeah.
Got that one to tilt.
Mm-hmm.
So this week they bowled on 43 feet. They called it a low volume. Nick Hoagland said it's one of the lowest he's seen for that depth of a pattern. And, it really led to a lot of high scores. So for all you bowling fans that have checked that out this week, you notice a lot of strikes, a lot of high averages, which is great. Again, I'm definitely on the record of loving high scores. We had all four of these ladies averaged over 230 this week for the 30 games. So, or 21 games, sorry. So, that's a big deal. And I think as you mentioned it in the pregame, once the oil carries down, they finally get some hold, which is tough to create at the ITRC. And once you create it, you can really pile up some strikes.
I totally agree with you. And again, if you look at who really bowled well in the last event and this one, take Liz out, everybody has a little more side rotation. Definitely has a lot more axis tilt. So again, Tony had talked about it. That's really what helps the ball get through the pins here at the ITRC.
Yep. Light shaker on that. And, you can hear, you could see that one nearly didn't come off her hand as clean, kind of lost it. And I know that high pressure situations, that's always the thing that goes for a higher rev player, counting myself in that category. When I get super nervous in a high leverage situation, and you always miss it at the bottom of the swing. Those are the mistakes. So, that'll be kind of what she's going to have to battle here if she can get in there and get a handful on it. Carolyn, for you, as a more of a down and in player on those, the more challenging high leverage nerve situations, what are the mistakes that you've made in the past?
Oh, miss hit
too. All right.
Oh my God, I don't even have to think about it. Oh Lord, yeah. Just missing it at the bottom, getting a little quick, again, the adrenaline, your nerves, just not putting it in the right perspective.
Yeah.
And really that's what it is. I always felt like I could hit the 1-3. It's just, I had to make sure it threw a good shot.
Yeah.
And sometimes it didn't happen.
Yep.
Folks, we've had our first giveaway. Congratulations to Lauren for winning the Brunswick Knockout. And folks, big thank you to Brunswick. They have been a proven industry leader for over 100 years. For more information, check out brunswickbowling.com.
Great shot by Liz right here.
Looks like we got a little bit more hook on the right lane.
Yep.
Jillian's been light pocket, both shots on lane 9. And then Liz, really high flush on her shots on the right lane, and then high flush for a 9-pin on that.
Yep. For people who are watching bowling, women's bowling, because, for many years, numerous people, and Tony, I think you might even agree, fundamentally, I would think bowlers that watch women's bowling probably pick up on a little more pointers that they can incorporate in their game, because the women's games are a little bit more simple. And one of the things about Liz is, if you ever look, that camera angle is excellent, but her hand stays so far behind the ball before she gets around it. And that's been key to her success.
Yep, no doubt. And, that's the thing is getting up the back of it is the absolute number one most important thing to consistent release, and being able to get consistent read with your ball reaction lane to lane, which is at this level, the hardest thing about bowling is figuring out what the pair is doing when you switch to it, right? Because you just got off the last pair. What's this one going to do? The more side rotation brings in so many more variables. So again, very, very excited to see the
a lot of the top talent on the ladies tour definitely has that. And I think that's what's being coached these days, right? In your bowling academy, isn't that? I mean, I know I spent some time recently with Mr. Del Ballard, and that was the one thing he told me is like, quit circling it, get up the back of it. So that sounds like the thing that, everybody's really getting coached and pushed on. Is that right?
Right. Yes. And one thing even with these two players, and because I heard Del saying it to you also, use your legs.
Yes.
Legs is one of the most important aspects of bowling. It gives you all the leverage to be able to do what you want at the bottom of your swing.
Yeah. Yep.
Collapsing in the 410 there.
My favorite hit. Nothing like, caving in the big four. Oh, look at that. I love it. Get it. Yes. Love that. That's my hit. I'm a little jealous she got that, but that's what, if you're inside enough, that is the hit you're going to get. Thank you, bowling gods, for that.
Folks, the PWBA would like to thank its apparel partners for their continued support. These apparel partners include Bowlify, Coolwick, EFX, High Five Gear, I Am Bowling by Logo Infusion, Chameleon Sportswear, Rift Apparel, and Vice Sportswear.
So see on that one, it looked like she kind of missed it again, but had enough zing zang on it for it to get out and slap the 10. So now they're all even.
Yep.
Here we go. And the whole bowling Liz, would that make you nervous? To be honest, how much has Jillian really watched Liz bowl? If her last player of the year was 2017 and 2016 and 2015 before that, how much was Jillian really watching bowling at 10 years old to really know that she's up against one of the greats of all time?
Right.
She got soft with that.
Yeah. I do think that right lane, though, Tony, I do agree with you. I think the right lane hooks a little more, and I think it hooks earlier.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've heard, seen, I guess, from a score standpoint, these last two pairs down here, 9, 10, 11, and 12, are definitely some of the most challenging in the ITRC, and the scores have proven it all week long.
Another thing that I think has been great for women's bowling, and again, another testament to all of the industry companies, is allowing the bowl reps to be out on tour with the women. I think that also helps with, learning the equipment and just being one step ahead of your opponents.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and one of the questions that I really wanted to hear from you, so a situation like this, you've got, Maddie McNeil is our Storm rep this week. He's got 3 of the 4 bowlers, right? How difficult is it for him to coach both at the same time? I know in some of the events you've got multiple ball reps so that one can take each player, but he's got to build both of them up and get both of them there. How do they do that? I've never understood how difficult that must be.
I think it is difficult, but we have 2 there. We also have Jim Callahan, and I do think I don't know how they manage it, but they seem to manage it. And don't forget, you're also dealing with a Liz who probably already knows what her game plan is going to be.
Yeah.
Again, when you're with some of those players that have been there before, they already have their game plan, and they basically rely on those ball reps just for some fine tuning. So it's a tough job, but they do manage.
Yeah. See on that shot right there. Trip 4 again. This girl's my new hero. She's got all the shots. Yeah. Okay. So I didn't know Jim was there too. So great. Yeah. So there's 2, so they can divide and conquer.
Divide and conquer.
Yeah.
Right. And then for Dasha, it'll be Chuck. And I do believe there's someone else, but I'm not sure who it is. Unless Chuck might be by himself. I only saw him.
No, Eric Kraus is also here. Repping this week.
Good deal. Dynamite drop in, Aaron. So, I mean, she gets this one right here, puts her up 20. I mean, is that, look at that.
Yep.
And she misses nothing in the celebration area. I love the fist pumps, very Tiger-esque. I mean, she's got some Carolyn Doran fire in her. Yeah. You just don't see, and that's the number one thing I always loved about you is you knew if you were striking.
Like,
Right.
you get serious and fired up, and I love that. I love the emotion.
I never understood how anybody couldn't have any emotion. Like, how do you not, you know what I mean? Like your adrenaline's pumping. Like, how do you not just want to, raise your hands in the air?
I know. Fist pump and then tell the other player about it. A ball
Yep.
change.
Ball change.
Yep. There we go. Great ball change. And she's left back-to-back ring in 10s on lane 9. So that was definitely something that she was going to have to consider here. The clock is ticking.
Liz just went to an old faithful. Marvelous.
Marvelous.
And
Wow.
smooth out the lane a little bit more. And here, that's something, Tony, question to you. How many bowlers do you think would make a ball change, 6th, 7th frame, still in the match? I mean, do you trust yourself? Do you not? I mean, how important is that?
Yeah. And in today's game, I mean, just an easy little double on the ball change. In today's game, that's what you have to do.
I think so too.
It's amazing. And I get so impressed with it every time I watch the pros on TV and the quick ball changes they make. No hesitation. If you hesitate, you're going to lose. So I'm always so impressed with that. And, I've watched Liz through the years do some wild ball moves, things that I would think would be terrifying. And that's how she gets a lot of those titles, is just fearlessness. All right. So Jillian's still up 10, right? Is that back to 20? All right.
I can't see the
Yeah,
score.
we'll get the score pulled down here in a second.
We'll get back up there in a quick second there. JT taking care of the business down there. The PWBA ladies, a full zip jacket is back in stock at a special price of $50 for a limited time. Get yours today and pick up other PWBA merchandise at shoppwba.com, the official store of the PWBA.
All right. So
by the way, PWBA, some sharp apparel this year. Liking it.
Got it in. Almost the dreaded 710, which I bet there have been no less than 500 of those this week.
I agree.
So situation now with the spare and 7 pins, that would get Jillian to 236, max for Liz Johnson 235. So spare most important right here. And if we can go back to the end of qualifying, the 10 pin was the shot that she ended up fouling on. So hopefully not in the back of her head right now.
What are you doing?
That was like the kiss of death, right? What happened?
That's dangerous. But he broadcasts very confidently too. See, no sweat. I think that was to tell you, take that, Aaron, as an easy spare. I would have.
Although that is a good question. Do you think it entered her mind?
On a foul, no. But if she'd have missed it, I think that definitely would be on. I would have, if I would have missed a 10, which is it's not some crazy path to go down. Right. I will miss some 10s. I'm going to miss the next one too, just because I'm terrified. But on a foul, she did make the spare. She just fouled.
Right.
All right.
That is going to be a win, 238 over Liz Johnson. She still has a 10th frame to go, max score 235. But the youngster, in her first PWBA Stepladder final appearance, gets a win right out of the gates against 24-time titleist Liz Johnson.
And now with this game under her belt, I'm sure the nerves have settled down even more. She knows which lane hooks more, which one doesn't. So it'll be interesting to see what she does these next couple matches.
Hey, super impressive. There you go. 16 years old. Beats Liz Johnson, Hall of Famer. Liz Johnson Hoff.
Liz Johnson Hoff, yes. As
Liz
it reads
Johnson
on the score sheet there. You got to know, you got to emphasize it. That's why it's next to Carolyn's name too. So there we go.
I know. Carolyn, Doran, Ballard, Hoff, to me, just doesn't roll off the tongue the same way. It's the same thing, though. You're still in the same hall. Carolyn just doesn't roll off as sweetly as Liz Johnson Hoff does.
Yeah. Well, Shorten it up, CDB.
CDB Hoff. Yeah, if we could for the next PWBA event, please make that CDB Hoff, and then and then I'll be much more comfortable saying that. Man, great ball change though. You're right, Carolyn. She finished it out. Wishing she just did it one shot earlier, and that's probably what. If you were to ask her, I bet if we get an opportunity to, is she going to be upset that she didn't do that one shot sooner?
Right.
And we will get that opportunity here in just a moment. JT is going to set up that interview, but as Dasha gets some practice here, we will take a quick break as we wait for Liz. So, folks, Storm has been a great sponsor of the PWBA. So, everybody, hang tight as we wait for Liz Johnson to join us in the post-game interview.
We don't wait for opportunity.
We create it.
We don't work for recognition.
We do work worthy of recognition.
It's not about being perfect.
It's about effort.
We are Storm.
All right. Thank you to Storm. And with that, Liz Johnson is going to join the show here.
Hey, Liz, how's it going?
Hi, Elizabeth.
Looks like hey, JT, looks like Liz might be muted right now on the screen, so that is why we are not hearing her. So, Liz, if JT's around there, could you give him a quick wave down?
Oh, goodbye, Liz.
Hello and goodbye.
Wow, that was a quick answer.
All right. Let's see if we can. All right. We'll wait for, see if JT can hook us up over here.
Well, going back to something Tony and I were discussing about ball changes, Tony, I do think you're right on that. I think now with the modern game and the way the balls, there's a lot of them. They hook more. I think you have to change balls quicker now than you did, say even 5 to 8 years ago. Just because transition, you have to be one step ahead of your opponent because you can lose 2 or 3 frames and it could cost you the match.
Oh yeah, it's unbelievable. I'm so amazed by that revolution of the game and how smart the best players are. Like if you don't have that physical ability, mental toughness, all that stuff, super important. If you don't know your equipment well enough to make a split second change, you're going to always finish up just a few pins short. And that's,
correct.
That's the deal. I'm so amazed at that.
All right. We do have Liz here, I believe. So take 2, Liz.
Hi, Tony. Hi, Carolyn.
Hey, Liz.
Hi, Liz.
Hi.
Well, it was a great week. Not the finish that you wanted. So we wanted to talk about the ball change. You made a great ball change to finish.
Yeah.
What prompted that, and kind of what were your thoughts on it?
I was throwing as good as I could the last game. I was really, very confident in my shots, and actually the ball was thrown. And the ring 10s were as pure as could be. And even the 9-pin, I wasn't even thinking, I can still stay in that ball, but too many ring 10s. And then I went high in like the 6-10. And I'm like, I need to try something. I had my Marvel S yesterday that worked earlier in the week. And I'm like, well, let's go for it. It had some surface on it. And it amazed me again. That ball was just unreal. But, then it was kind of a bummer. I'm like, then I couldn't miss.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the thought. It's like, I'm sure now you're kicking yourself if you just done it one shot sooner.
Yeah,
right?
I think it was probably the 5th, probably after the 6-10, when I left the 6-10. I really felt like I was okay. But again, I heard you talking about the ball changes, and we had to go through so many changes today. And even tonight's block, I was getting to the pocket. I didn't win a match and shot 100 over. But I think I had 4 or 5 clean games the last block. I just couldn't win a match.
Right. Well, one of the things you do the best too is you do keep it in the pocket. It's not as if you're going to give up the 1-3. Anyway, so watching the match, left lane that what you were seeing out there?
Well, I going with the ball reps with Jimmy and Matt. We made notes on the pairs every round, and I had my notes with me, and I remember that was the pair that it was probably a little more hold, but you couldn't really give it away. You had to probably keep it in a little tunnel. So that's what I remember doing. So if anything, if I whether it went high or whether I couldn't carry, I still try to chase it a little left. Not a lot. They maybe cheated maybe a bolt or two, but just try to keep it in front of me. And as you saw, the Marvelous was, I could get it right, and it was coming back, and it was hold too. So it is what it is. We have some more bowling to go on, and I feel good about this week. And this is not the last one, so.
How do you feel going into this last event?
I feel pretty good. I feel confident. The first day, the first tournament, I missed the cut only by 7 pins, and I felt good about myself. But after bowling yesterday and leading after qualifying for going into Monday, it's a lot of games left, as you all know, and I feel good. But even today, things can change. I had almost a 200 pin lead for a long time, and that went away, but I was just fortunate enough to still make the top 4. So 24 games match play over the course of 2 days, you have no idea what can happen. I mean, anybody knows that in that situation what can happen. So, just take one at a time, and it's going to be a marathon starting on Monday and Tuesday.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for the time, Liz. Good luck. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me.
All right, everybody, we have transitioned into the semifinal match against Dasha Kovalova. Dasha with an early strike, Jillian with the spare to kick things off. And folks, we're going to have our second giveaway. Storm bowling ball of your choice is going to be available. So be sure to click on the bottom left-hand corner when submit entry becomes available, and you can take that home with you.
Sounds good. I'm looking for that button on here. I'm not seeing it. I'm gonna do a write-in vote, if that's all right.
It's the secret button. It's that big red one on the desk.
Let's quit holding that on me. Jillian with the sweet little 3-6-9-10 spare.
Mm-hmm.
How about that? Now that's the real MVP move right there. Beats Liz Johnson, spares 3-6-9-10, all in the same day. And then finishes up with the old solid 9 there. So that one really grabbed. I think to your point, right? She's getting more comfortable now. The tough work is done. Did you, I think that's one of those things I always remember from watching old PBA telecasts back in the day. Whoever wins the first match, you think they're going to roll, and then there's always a little bit of a letdown. Do you ever recall that, from your days of making show after show after show? Was there letdown time after the first match?
A little bit, but again, that all goes into your, kind of like we were talking about the nerves. It goes into management of how you need to, if you do kind of sway away from actually your moment, you need to know that in a few seconds, you got to get back right into that TV mode of being, shot after shot and being motivated and as sharp as you can be. Very rarely though, I mean, obviously, knowing me, very rarely did I ever do a lot of chit-chatting while I was on a TV show. So here's your girl, Dasha.
You can't get it into the lane any better than that.
Yeah.
I'm so jealous. Ball stuck. All right, here we go. So, I mean, how about that jersey, though? Is that an awesome-looking jersey? She's an artist in her spare time, and actually, I think that's her actual own artistry that she drew, and then was able to live it live on the jersey. Kind of to the apparel point you made earlier. All the jerseys and everything looking great on everybody. Dasha, a little bit of a cut above with her artistic ability.
Yes, she did a sketch of Alyssa and sent it to me one day. Yeah, she's special. She really is. She's just a great girl.
We want to congratulate Nicholas on winning the Storm Bowling Ball of Choice. So Nicholas, our marketing team, will be reaching out to you soon. And Storm Bowling is the leading manufacturer of high performance bowling equipment. Visit your local VIP Pro shop to pick up your new Storm Bowling Ball and bowl up a storm.
Dasha almost leaving the stone 9.
I know, with the bird dog in front of it, knocks it backwards.
Yep. And I have a question. When she gets back on the lanes, Tony, I'm gonna ask you a question.
Uh-oh.
No, good question.
More questions. I knew the answer to the last one, at least.
You'll know the answer to this.
All right, great comeback. Do you think she moved off the 3.6910, or was that just maybe a slow shot?
I think she moved, and I think she's keeping her ball speed up, because if you see, the girls are migrating left. Liz was the one that would be obviously a little bit more down and in, and Bryanna will be a little bit more, I would think, to the right than these two girls. So I do think she moved.
That's really another thing with the best of the best. You know, she just came off of a very solid 230, could have been a 250 game, 3.6910, you know, through the face, a little bit high on the first frame. You know, is it the type of deal where you go, was that me? Did I throw it slow? Or maybe, you know, not move? But in today's world, just move. Don't even give it another thought, right?
Right. Now that one, she looked like she got it in just a little bit. And on that left lane, she left the flat 10. But on the right lane, remember the couple of shots that first match that she got in? She tripped 4-10, or the big 4 almost, right?
That's right.
So that, again, you can see the difference from left lane to right lane.
Yeah.
No problem on the spare there, and tour players naturally tend to migrate to those balls that offer more core torque and continuous motion down lane with minimal deflection through the pins. It was that logic that led to the development and creation of the all-new Rotogrip Tour Core, designed for tour-level players and those who aspire to score like them.
Okay, Tony.
Yes.
Arm swing.
Gosh. So the arm swing, because I mean, it's perfect. I mean, dead straight. There's no bend in the elbow. I can only say I would go to what I think is the best arm swing of any bowler I've ever seen. That's to Neil Milligan. And that may not be the right answer, but from a just like straight, no bend in the elbow, perfect arm swing, I've always thought Tennille had the best arm swing.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I noticed with Dasha is you see how she gets her ball almost to the right a little bit. Very uncharacteristic of Dasha.
Yeah. So her ball's, you know, you're saying her hands really kind of inside the ball.
Right. As she gets the ball started, but my gosh, it comes down and gets right back to where it needs to be.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Yep.
Yeah, it's great. I could watch her bowl for days, but can't miss it. You can't miss a spare. This kid is hungry. She's not taking any prisoners.
Mm-mm.
All right, the light shaker. There we go.
Comes back with the strike. I'm not surprised, but Jillian has the opportunity to jump right on this lead.
Yep, she's up 11 right now, and a couple of X's take it back to 20. Oh, my favorite camera angle.
Oh, I think it's great. I love it.
Yep. So, Carolyn, she is from Stowe, Ohio. I'm not familiar with that city or that area. What do you know? What part of Ohio she's from?
Stowe, I think Stowe is near Akron, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
But again, I'm not sure either. But great bowlers come out of Ohio. That's what a great bowling state that is. Some of the best youth bowlers have come out of. I mean, we got Brian Himmler up there. We got Jimmy Johnson. We got Shannon Plahowski. I mean, oh my gosh.
Jody Wessner. Yeah.
Jody. Yep.
To verify.
And Kathy and Jeff, Lizzie. I mean, the whole place. I mean, Ohio really is a great bowling state. They've had very strong youth programs. Proprietors are very much into promoting the youth. So very fortunate to come from an area that promotes that.
Man, that portion of the U.S. is, I mean, heavy in great bowlers and great action these days. That is definitely one of the best places to get good at your game. And I'm glad you mentioned your sister there. I think there could have been some serious hate mail if you wouldn't have mentioned her as a star. I mean, Jeff's one thing, but don't miss Kathy. Don't miss Kathy.
Blair just texted me and said Jillian's uncle runs the Ohio State USBC event. So see, even her family is involved in the sport of bowling, giving back. So that's great.
Yeah. Thanks for that. Thanks for kicking that out there too, Blair. That's great. We got so many people helping us out with all the things we don't know. For the double. Not good.
Cool.
Got it in on the hooking lane.
Yep.
And folks, we're going to go ahead and start another giveaway here. The Rotogrip RST X1 is going to be the next prize to win here on Bowl TV. Giveaway is underway. Good luck, everybody.
Really surprising. I expected Dasha to come out and just really try and take it to her. That's where she's been really effective.
Her last shot on this lane was a 4-pin.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if she didn't move enough, obviously, because as we've said it, the right lane definitely looks like it's hooking earlier. So after the 4-pin, not sure what the move was. Maybe she didn't move enough, but she did miss a little in too. So, what do you want to call that? A double move almost.
Yeah, make the right move, but not make the shot you want.
Correct.
Oh, that did not hit with a whole lot of pow. A10, that's going to be 3 holes for Dasha through 7 frames. That's going to get into that insurmountable range for her to come back. She's going to have 105 in the 7, so 195 max. So if I've been listening to the show all week or the telecast all week, and I think I have, I've heard Jason Thomas say that the magic number for Jillian Martin right now is 196. So that's what she's aiming at. Did I get that right?
You got that right. Nicely done.
I heard
yes.
there was going to be a test later, so you don't want the boss to to hear that you failed on his first question on the test.
And with the strike here, she'd be well on her way to that 190.
Right. She's on 198 pace. I think she'd like a little bit more breathing room.
Exactly.
But do you think Jillian right now at 16 and having the best time of her life, is she really keeping score that much? Or is she not bowling?
No, I think she's just bowling.
Yeah. I always liked the scores. The scores kept me interested. So I always knew the score, but I think that's not necessarily the best strategy. I think the best strategy is go out and try and knock 10 down. And if there's still something standing, knock that down too and get up and do it again.
I think people put so much into thinking about the shot. Aren't you always just trying to throw the best shot you can? I mean, you should be, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And again, like you said, and if you leave something standing, make it.
Yeah. Yeah, knock it down and go knock it all down again. So, I mean, boom, boom.
Yep. She's pumped. She's ready.
She's waving, the double thumbs up, the fist pump. I mean, that's she's closing in on ball game right there.
Mm-hmm.
So now she just needs to fill a few frames, and it's on to Bryanna Cote for the title. Dasha, it was really shocking the game that she's bowled. Just hasn't made the shot she wanted. And obviously got a couple of bad breaks with carry like that.
Right. And again, we mentioned it. These pairs, not the easiest in the building. You're seeing a lot of the ring 10, and then the left lane had a few flat 10s. I mean, and again, you make that minor move, soften up just a little. If it hooks early, goes to the nose. I mean, it depends on how you really want to figure out how to get that corner pin down.
As we wrap up this semifinal match, the PWBA would like to thank its accessory partners for their continued support These accessory partners include 3G, BowlerX.com, Dexter, Eileen's Bowling Buddy, Genesis Bowling, Master Industries, Robbie's, Turbo Bowling Accessories, Ultimate Bowling Products, and Vice Grips.
All right, Carolyn. So here's the deal. You're the top seed. You're over there staying loose. You're throwing shots. Your ball reps are watching the lanes. They right now know that the player that's getting all the strikes, their ball's hooking into the pins more than Dasha's and more than Liz's, because it's just, again, just not quite getting the carry. What could Bryanna do differently than Liz and Dasha have done?
Well, the first thing that I think Bryanna is thinking about, and she's probably discussing it with one of her ball reps, is, do I start the match so you finish last so that Bryanna could put pressure on her? Or does she force her to end on the left lane where she's left a few of those flat 10s? It seems like the right lane is a little more forgiving.
Yeah.
So I think that's what she's thinking about. I believe as the tournament leader, she's going to come in, she's going to throw a few shots. She may move just a little bit off of where she ended. She probably knows the few balls she's going to try. I think it's more about strategy.
Cool. I like it. So, Carolyn, what would you do?
I would make her have to get up at the end. I like to get my opponents, put the pressure on my opponents. So I'd make her finish last.
Okay.
And the left lane has been the one
where
she's left these light hits. So I don't know. I really liked putting the pressure on my opponents, but if I were Bryanna, I mean, gosh, I'd make her finish on the left lane. As of right now, that's what I would do.
Yeah. And to your point, it is all strategy. It's just pick the one you want. So, because I generally think that a big portion of it is maybe don't worry so much about the other player. I want to make sure I finish on my best lane, the shot I'm going to get 7 shots on, as opposed to going to get 5 shots on. But you think maybe in this case, let the buzzsaw of Jillian Martin finish on the tighter lane where she's got 9 4 or 5 times.
Right, because you're hoping. I mean, this is no matter who you're bowling, you're hoping they have to get up and either strike or mark. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do they think about it? You hope they do, right?
Yeah, but I think where we're at right now is Jillian ain't thinking about it. She's just having fun, just crushing racks. That's all she's doing is just crushing rack after rack. 230, 227. You have 237, 227. First 2 games on a stepladder final. No problem at all. What was I thinking that she might be nervous? What an idiot I was.
Yeah, what was I thinking, right?
As we wrap up this semifinal match, just want to let the good folks on Bowl TV know that with products for bowling centers, coaches, and mechanics, Kegel is truly built for bowling. Visit kegel.net to learn more about all they do for our great sport. Of course, Kegel, the official lane maintenance provider of the PWBA Tour. And talking to Jason Thomas, we will be getting Dasha to join us as soon as she finishes up here. Jillian Martin with the victory, 227. And will be in the title match taking on Bryanna Cote next here at the ITRC Classic on Bowl TV.
They always fall when the match is decided. Why is that?
Correct.
Bowling can be so evil sometimes. That's the way Liz left it too, right? Is finishing with the 5-bagger and on to the next week, sadly. Dasha, same thing. Finish with the 4-bagger and on to the next. All right, so 16-year-old's going to bowl for the title next. Carolyn, can you believe that?
I can believe it. I didn't know if it was going to happen, but I can believe it.
Yep, it's in front of us. History could be made coming up next. The previous youngest, Wendy McPherson, right? 18 years old?
Yep, U.S. Open.
1986. All right, folks, we have Dasha Kovalova going to join us here next. So we're going to welcome her in right now.
Hello.
Hello, Dasha.
Hi.
Hey, Dasha.
Hi. Hi, Doran. Hi, friends.
Hi, friend.
I mean, what kind of great attitude do you have? You just finished out the match, and then you come over here, all smiles, supposedly all smiles. I can't see.
How do you know I'm smiling?
I was just guessing. I was totally wrong with that.
Yeah, I'm dead inside.
All right,
the best.
Dasha, you are the best.
You know what? Tell us a little bit. You feel like the right lane is hooking a little bit. You left the 4-pin, very unlike you to miss a spare. You're an excellent spare shooter. When you got up the next shot on that right lane and you left the split, did you make a move?
Yeah, I moved 1 and 1 from off of 4-pin just because that's what I was going to state, and I don't think I really bowled my best. I jammed it in and I got a split and then caught an unlucky break. But you know what? It's life. It happens. You gotta learn from your mistakes.
Yeah, and it was a great week. You had an absolutely fantastic finish to the match play rounds. So what is it that you're going to take out of this week? What's the 1 or 2 things you'll carry over into tomorrow's tournament?
I need to practice my 4 pins.
Practice not leaving them, I think, is also a good. Maybe that'd be the second.
I like your attitude.
Yeah, that's good. Trip it next time.
Yeah.
I think you'll be back to your great form. I feel confident you'll have a good practice and everything will be fine.
Yeah, I think I'm just. I just need to make sure I'm focused a little bit more because I was nervous. It was been a while, and I think it kind of got into my head a little bit. So I need to make sure I clean it up before the next event.
Good. Excellent.
All right, Dasha.
Congratulations. Great bowling. Good luck.
Great bowling.
Thank you. Nice seeing all of you. I miss you. Bye.
And we'll see you at the Hall of Fame Classic in a couple of days.
Yeah. I'm out.
All right. Bye, Dasha. Thank you. Great bowling. All right. Before we get to our title match, just one more quick video here before we get to the action. Bryanna, Cote, and Jillian Martin, 16-year-old phenom, going to be hitting the lanes here. Can't miss it. Coming up next here on Bowl TV.
How do I play this pattern?
How do we play this pattern? I think you just got to ask Jillian Martin, that's all. But we are going to be ready for the title match here in just a moment. So let's go back to the lanes as we prepare for our matchup. Top seed, Bryanna, Cote. Still in practice right now. A few more shots to go. And as we, let's see.
Aaron, can I ask you a question then?
Of course.
Do we have a minute?
We have a minute.
I think it's a very important question. And right there you can see, I know it's a practice shot. And she might have been trying something, but that's that early hook. And when you go a little bit straighter, and you're a little more rolly.
Yeah.
Liz has ball speed. It makes a big difference. But my question, I just typed it to you, Aaron. Did you see? What is the rule for the caches before you have to join to be a member?
That is an excellent question. I would usually defer this to Tennille Milligan, our director of operations, but I'm not sure if she's here right now. So I know for this event, though, the prize money is going toward her smart fund as a junior competitor. But that's a great question, and I don't want to say the wrong thing on the air. So
no. Here's the second part of that question. So how many caches before you have to join? And is Jillian able to bowl the regional event?
She is not, because the top 24 who advanced to the Hall of Fame Classic are not eligible for the regional.
Perfect.
And then out of the for anyone who didn't make it, if there was a past national champion as well, they would not be eligible. So those were the two main things for that heading into tomorrow's event. So she will be back for the Hall of Fame Classic, but since she finished in the top 24, not eligible to bowl the regional this week.
Okay. So one more question. Does this count as 3 separate cashes? So she cashed yesterday in the last tournament, correct?
She did. Yep.
She would cash in this tournament, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So she makes the top 24. Does that count as the 3rd event?
I would imagine so, but once again, I would leave that to our tournament director. So I don't want to get anybody in trouble here on the air, but it's a great question. And we'll see if we can maybe have JT run that down as well as we kick off our title match here.
Got it.
All right. So Carolyn, Bryanna starts in the left lane. So that half of the prophecy is true that you mentioned, right? So Jillian is going to finish on the left lane. So that's what Hall of Famers do right there. They know the story before the story happens. I like it.
I that was just a guess.
An educated, a very educated guess.
Every championship match.
Yeah. I just think Jillian's going to be really, really hard to beat. I think she's so comfortable out there right now. She's just bowling. The way her ball's going through the pins, it's just outstanding. It's going to be a tough out for anybody right now.
Real quick, JT, I believe we're going to bring in Tennille. Tennille, are you ready to go there? She is. All right. Director of Operations, USBC Hall of Famer Tennille Milligan.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, T.
Hi. Thanks for joining us. Sorry, I'm in the background watching, officiating, making sure everything's going well.
We had a quick question for you. We were curious what the rules for cashing was with Jillian. There's a certain amount of cashes you get, and then you have to join, we believe. We were wondering just to verify that rule for her.
Yes, so any non-member can cash 2 times in a season. But with this classic series event, if you cash in this, it's considered as 1 cash. So you could cash multiple times, but this is 1 series of events. So she could technically come back and bowl again this season.
All right. Excellent.
There you go.
Thank you, Tennille.
Well, unless she wins.
Yeah, if she wins, that counts. That's a finisher, right? Yeah.
That is it.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. Thank you, Tennille.
Thanks, Tennille.
Tony, as you could see, great shot on that left lane, ring 10.
It's just, you're right. You're right.
So we'll see if, I mean, I was going to say, we're going to have to see if that holds up. I didn't mean that the way it sounded, but that was the lane that seemed to be a little more stubborn.
Yeah. I think if we went back and checked the stats on this, she's probably struck 50% of the, she hasn't missed the pocket over there. She's hit the pocket every single time, but she's probably carried half of them. So there you go. It's, you know, if it comes down to the 10th, she's going to have to make a perfect shot to get the strikes. And then the pins have to, they have to oblige. See if Bryanna can quickly put some pressure on her, which has not been there yet, right? Jillian hasn't seen much pressure yet today, other than just internal. Perfect shot.
Good shot. As you can see with Bryanna, and I mentioned this, even though she gets around the ball just a little bit, she has nice axis rotation, actually.
Yeah.
But she doesn't spray the ball very much to the right. She still likes to keep the ball pretty much in front of her. And I think some of that, as they get deeper, for the girls that use 14 pounds, they feel like they lose a little bit of hit. Me, I think she throws it good, and she never looks to me as if she loses any hit. But again, it's the different styles where she just gets around it, but still wants to just keep it a little more in front of her. And she tends to increase her ball speed when she wants to stay in a zone too.
Great knee bend. You mentioned how important that is to get the right leverage at the foul line. You know, the knee bend. That's one thing I've always been really, really impressed with. She's very solid. Her core, look how solid that is. She just sits right down on it.
Yep, very good.
You know, just really solid. I hope my daughter is watching at home so she can see how important a good knee bend is. Tori, bend your knee, please. For that. Thank you. See you later.
She will. She will.
Bend your knee. All right. That was 2 flush hits. Oh, the trip 4 again. Who could have possibly thought that was going to happen again. This guy right here.
That's
love
that
the
was
trip
a trip 4-9, Tony. Trip 4-9.
Yeah, but anybody who has perfected the trip 4 doesn't see any other pins. They only see the one that counts the 4 pins. So
correct.
Hopefully she's seeing that. She just felt so good that that's just another great hit in her arsenal. But she's down a quick 20. She's got to think, I need this one. You don't want to fall behind and give Bryanna a chance to make it 20, then 30, then 40 before she throws another shot. Got it in a little bit. Slaps the 10. Great emotion on that. There it is. Back to 10 pins.
And you made a comment. She got that one in just a little bit. Did not get this one as far right down lane. And the carry was much better. It kicked that 10 right back.
You're right.
That could be key to that left lane.
Yeah, because we've seen, Liz left 2 big ringing 10s on that lane. Jillian left one in the second. I think Dasha had one on that lane as well. So the ringing 10 is a stickler, along with the some half 10s as well. So let's see what Bryanna's got here. Last 2 shots, absolutely perfect. Shoved them straight back.
Folks, we're going to start our final giveaway for the PlayStation VR. That is going live now. Click submit entry for your chance to win.
Oh, didn't hit it. Didn't hit it.
Yeah, you could see as she's coming back.
Yep.
She made that motion with her hand. Just didn't quite get around it at the end. Now, when we talk about leverage, again, she went down to 14 pounds, and she said that she felt that helped with her leverage and her ball speed. Deandra Beatty, another PWBA champion, went down to 14 pounds, and she truly felt it helped with her leverage also. So again, there is no right or wrong. It's what feels best for your body, and you fit that into your game.
Do you know how long Bryanna's been using 14?
I think it's been I would say 3 years at least now, and it could be a little longer. Time just goes by now.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'd say 3 years. Sorry. Last year wasn't a year. So
that's right.
So it could be 4 years. I'm not really sure about that. But I would say it's got to be at least 3 or 4. I'm sure I'll get a text message here telling me what the correct year is.
Yeah, I'm sure there's probably already 6 people that have loaded up some text messages to you right now.
Right.
Thank you, World Wide Web, for the quick information.
You got it.
Real quick, Cindy Brummett, her roommate on tour, hopping in the chat saying 3 years. So thanks, Sid.
3 years. Thank you.
Congratulations to John winning the PlayStation VR.
Looked like a pretty good shot. Oh, didn't get the shake.
Great comeback shot, especially after shooting the bucket. That's surely not something I want to shoot on TV, by the way.
No, not in a title match.
Nope.
Bryanna's got one PWBA title. That was back in 2016, so she would definitely like to get one back right here. So, yeah, never easy to make the bucket and then have to come back after it. So, great spare. This one's much.
And she's knocked, Bryanna's knocked on the door a few times.
Oh, yeah.
It's not as if she hasn't made a show and, she finished second. So it's not as if she hasn't put herself in position. You just got to wait for that next door to open.
Yeah. I can't recall the exact tournament. I think it was in maybe Wichita. So again, I was going to say last year, but it wasn't last year. It was in 2018.
Year before.
Where she had exactly where I think she needed a strike to win and solid 8, or maybe it was a strike to tie and solid 8 on the fill.
That was in Fountain Valley.
There you go.
Fountain Valley. Yes.
So again, just shots like that. I mean, that was as heartbreaking of a shot as I've ever seen someone who just pured it and, just the worst possible break. So here's Jillian to retake the lead by just a couple of pins on count. Wow, ring 10.
Another great shot, though. I got to tell you, besides the 3, 6, 9, 10, and that was it.
I think that's it.
On
Yeah.
that lane, correct?
Yeah. I think that's
If I'm
it.
not mistaken, 3, 6, 9, 10, this ring 10, that right lane has been pretty forgiving.
Yeah.
He's thrown it good.
Yeah. Yeah. And she's had all the trip fours on that lane. I think. I don't know that we've seen a trip 4 in the left lane, but yeah, you're right. Very right. Very good.
Something that I hope everybody's watching, and this is also true for the men. If you notice the bowling balls that the girls are using, like Jillian's using a ball that gets through the front part of the lane, but it's not overhooking on the back. And they combat that with just a little bit of surface. Kind of takes down that back end reaction, makes it a little bit more manageable, even with the ball that's clean. And I think sometimes for the people that are watching, when you go to practice, play around with surface changes because it's amazing what you can make your bowling ball do.
That's really the thing these days, is the ability to change the surface can give you so many different subtle adjustments, right?
Correct.
Got to carry on that one. All right, so we got a 6-pin match right now.
As we hit the halfway point here in the title match of the ITRC Classic, remember that everything the good folks at Rotogrip do is to put you in a position to dominate. They make equipment that makes you your best, because that's not your name up there next to your score. It's your reputation. Visit rotogrip.com to view their complete line of high-performance bowling balls.
She strikes here. She's up by 14, correct? I can barely see the.
No, she's on a spare, so this is
Okay, sorry, I can't see
maintain
the
the lead,
score
yeah.
clearly. Oh,
It's a
Ooh,
six-pin advantage.
6-pin. I'm a frame behind.
6 pins. They're both on a strike. It looks like we're going to have some action here.
Yes, and honestly, Tony, on that shot right there, you can see how her hand just got around the side of it so much more than that shot before.
Yeah.
Really great comeback on that lane.
Yeah, and I'm glad you're pointing that out for everybody. Again, with that excellent camera angle, you can really see with the slow-mo just exactly what it takes for these pros to be at their very best, right? Even the slightest difference results in a bad shot. All right, to make it 16.
Mm-hmm.
Is that got enough? Oh, yeah. Great shot. Great shot.
I'm not sure she was sure on that one when she let it go. She got it a little right.
Yeah.
Threw it good.
I wasn't sure it was going to get back either. And, you could hear one of her ball reps say best shot of the match right there as she walked back. So it's really nice that it's such a quiet environment right there, no fans, to really be able to hear a lot of the coaching that you're getting from the ball reps and support. I think that's pretty cool. I've enjoyed listening to that. Oh, that was a nice shot. Oh, that was a nice shot.
Woo. That was a big shot, too.
Woo.
To keep that.
Keep it in there, yeah.
Keep it close,
Keep
yep.
it 6. And she can take the lead with a strike right here.
That's right.
Boy, she is going to be fun to watch in the years to come for sure.
Absolutely. Another great thing to see off that camera angle is they really are playing close to the same break point. They're just getting to that break point quite differently.
Yeah, yeah.
And I answer that question a lot because it's like, well, I don't throw the ball like that. You don't have to. You just got to look at the break point.
Yeah.
And then you fit that into your game.
That's right. You got to hit, on this type of pattern here, you got to hit the tracer at 45 feet and whichever way it gets there. And she got that in too. Is that going to get there? Oh yeah. Gives it a lead. Golly. It's interesting. This week I was watching the first round of qualifying. I really wanted to watch her bowl. There was a lot of folks in the chat, and I remember seeing a little chat from Leanne Holzenberg who said, this girl is going to be a superstar. And you get somebody with, almost 30 PWBA, LPBT titles. It says that speaks volumes. And I remember thinking, well, let's hold on a second. She's only 16 before we say that. And then look at this here. She's making the shots. So obviously Leanne knows exactly what she's talking about. She knows talent when she sees it.
27
that was a non-paid advertisement right there.
27 titles. You are
27.
correct.
I just wanted to give her a round up to 30. You're welcome for that.
She's going to get to 30.
Yeah. Oh, shakes it down. Here we go. We've got action. She retakes the lead.
Right here. She got that one a little bit further right.
Just enough. That hit one more board at the flat.
Blowing out the 7. That's a great hit on that lane.
So as they say in tennis, the ball is on Bryanna's racket right now. She can close out the match.
Mm-hmm.
3 more strikes. The first one up right here. Let's see what happens.
So here's where we talked about that scenario, Tony. Yep. So again, obviously Bryanna thinks the right lane is better for her. Jillian, of course, had the left lane. We already talked about that. So we're going to see if this strategy possibly worked.
Oh, shakes it down. Yes. Great shot. All right.
I want to hop in here for a quick second. You mentioned that 8-pin she threw at Fountain Valley, Tony, to lose by 1 pin to Sandra Anderson in 2019. And I talked to Bri as soon as that wrapped up, and obviously the emotions of that were tough for her. But she said, being in that situation before, she had not always made the best shot, and she was just happy to make the best shot she could. You know, the pins didn't agree that day. Could it be coming around here at this event?
Maybe that is
Oh, got that one in. You could see her flag in her hand, but you know what? She's been carrying that 4-9 out.
And see, I said, don't worry about the 9, just trip the 4 and everything else will fall. And then she trips the 4 and leaves the 9. Jillian, I apologize.
Yeah, you know what, Tony, you're right. It really, the carry, because of the way she gets into the pocket, it really has worked.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So max game 238. So here's the situation. She's got a max of 238, which is going to force Bryanna Cote to mark in the 10th.
Correct. Yes, sir.
So,
and as Della's watching and saying, don't let Carolyn add up the score because I'm terrible at math.
I went ahead and took that one.
And I knew it was a mark, Tony. I'm just not figuring out pin count.
That's fine. You'd be on the front 9 right now if it was you, so you can add those together. What's 12 strikes? Oh, that was a great shot. Wow, that was perfect. Oh, great shot, Jillian. It's so much fun watching her bowl. I hope everyone's enjoying this. This is one of those things you may not see again. A talent like this at this age, absolutely giving it to the best in the business.
I can guarantee you that my kid right now is bowling in San Antonio with kids from the SYC. Keegan, Ethan, Amani, they're all watching her right now because they bowl with her at those tournaments and they could not be happier.
That's great. It's got to get up. Great shot. Gives herself a chance. You can hear him say, stay in the process. Fill it up and see what happens. I think that's that was a great comment, Aaron, just that a shot like that, you can be mad about the result, but you can't be mad about the execution. So,
absolutely.
To your point, maybe that's the thing that's going to carry it through here. Doesn't have to be perfect to get the job done. Great finish. So she shot 237, 227, 238. I think she was clean.
Yes.
That's a clean 30.
Yes.
That'll get you $50 back at the USBC
at the Open Championship.
That'll get you $50 back.
All right, big shot here.
mark for a title.
Taking a little extra time, which I would, taking a very deep breath, which I would be.
Looked pretty good.
It's a good shot.
Flat 10. Oof.
Kept it right in front of her.
Yep.
Did exactly what she's been doing the entire game.
All right, here we go.
Spare and 5 pins to win her second career PWBA Tour title and first since 2016.
Man, Carolyn, my heart's beating a little bit right now too.
My hands are sweaty.
What am I doing?
My hands are sweaty when I watch these girls bowl. My hands are sweaty for Jillian, for God's sake, when she started the first game bowling against Liz.
I know.
Great shot, but again, something great to learn, especially for our youth bowlers. Take your time. She took a little extra time, deep breath.
Looks perfect.
Yep.
Oh, hit it twice. That's the way you make a spare for a title right there. Hit it twice. Perfect. Great shot.
Just 5 pins right now to wrap it up.
I know I feel like we need to be so quiet, but I don't think they can hear us, Carolyn.
I don't think they can hear us, but I feel nervous. I just, I got to tell you, look, any amount of pins. Sorry. I think she'll be just fine though.
Yeah, she is going to be just fine.
I do. Great shot.
Boom. There it is. All right.
PWBA ITRC Classic champion, Bryanna Cote. There it is.
In true fashion, by a mark in the 10th and followed up with a high flush shot.
Yeah, that's earning it right there. That is earning it right there.
Our final score, 244 to 238. Bryanna Cote wins her second career PWBA tour title, first since 2016. And folks, we're going to go to Bree right now to talk about this victory. So, Bryanna Cote, welcome. Congratulations.
Thank you. I don't know if you can't tell, but I'm crying.
As you should be. As you should be.
So, Bryanna, congratulations. Great performance. That's the way to earn it, right? Having to spare a 10 pin.
Oh.
We were watching. We're nervous for some reason, and we're not even close to throwing a shot today. So I don't know why I'm so nervous. But what's it feel like to have to spare a 10 pin for a title?
I can't. I don't want to spare a 10 pin. I want to strike. But I put the first one there, and if they were going to fall, they were going to fall, and they didn't. So I just told myself, same process. Stay slow and visualize, the ball to your target and get it there. And then the next shot was just high, hard one.
I love it. That's fantastic. I have a question for you. By the way, you bowled fantastic. You're throwing the ball great. And I'm so glad to see it.
Thank you.
But I want to ask you a question about the strategy before the match started. You started the match.
I did.
Okay. Is that because you liked the right lane better or because you wanted to make her finish on the left lane?
I liked the right lane better. And of course I leave a 10 pin on the lane I like, but all week lane 9 was just a little bit tighter in front of the head pin. And I knew the way I was playing the lanes that it could kind of hurt me or help me if I, miss in, it'll hold, but if I miss right, it's just not going to recover. So I wanted to be on a lane where I knew I had a little bit miss room right and just the ball would go through the pins a little bit better. So I chose that, and we saw that all week. So I just kind of stayed the course with that plan, and
it worked. So, I mean, usually I've learned to do what's best for me as both, you know, a little bit more offense and defense is what, you know, Matt McNeil told me to do.
Excellent. No, great choice. I think it was the right decision.
So, Bree, we were talking about, you know, you've got one title in 2016, and then I so vividly remember the solid 8 that you left in Fountain Valley. We were talking a little bit about that, and then Aaron, I'm sorry that I have to remember such a bad moment, but let's take that bad moment. So Aaron mentioned that he talked to you right afterwards and said you can't be mad about the execution. It was perfect. It just didn't fall. So a shot like that was perfect and didn't strike, and then really the one that wrapped it up for you was the 9th frame strike here, which was a great shot, but it was light shaker. It's not in the category of a solid 8 or a dead flush shot. What is not getting there in Fountain Valley last year? How does that translate into the win today?
You know, Fountain Valley was a tough loss, but I learned a lot from it. I learned about my execution ability under these pressure situations as a professional, because, you know, those moments really define you. And to be able to basically ace the shot and make it perfect, it was out of my hands. And, you know, I controlled what I could, and I couldn't control the 8 pin. And so it was. And so that just really for me was just a learning experience and something that I've carried forward, you know, since then, just to worry about me and my game, stop looking at scores, stop worrying about everybody else. And that's what I really started to do from that moment on. And it's been working for me so far.
Yeah, that's great. And then something else that, you know, Jillian Martin, 16 years old, in my head this whole time, and I haven't said it yet, but some of my idiot friends, one of their favorite bowling moments is the Pete Weber, he's not getting the first one against me. Yeah. And I was just thinking that the whole time.
You know,
so did that cross your mind at all? I mean, she's going to get hers, but don't let her get it against me.
You know, right? I think it's kind of a process. Like, I got my first against Kelly Kulik, and I think it's kind of a process. Like, you know, Sandra got hers against me. So it's just like a flow of things. You're going to get yours when you get yours. And, you know, no, I didn't want her to beat me for sure. But, you know, she bowled phenomenal, and she was definitely pushing me to be better and all the other women out here. And she's, you know, when she's, you know, old enough to, to join us full time, we're gonna have a run for our money. But I told my bar reps this week, I was like, oh man, to have a 16-year-old mind right now where everything's just turned off and you are 100% fearless.
Right.
But it's awesome. You know, she'll get some years under her, and she'll grab it a couple times.
Yeah, absolutely. No, she will definitely be in the winner's circle. And we discussed that about how her mind is, she's just bowling because she loves bowling.
Exactly.
And that's her passion.
Yeah.
He's not thinking about Hall of Fame or winning titles or, you know, I mean, it's just, I just want to bowl great.
And it's amazing. And it's been a pleasure to have her and her dad here with us this week.
Right.
All right, Bree, one more question before we let you go. We talked a lot about the win in 2016. I know how tough the 2017 season was for you. Yes. You came back with a fury in 2018, 2019, another great season. But the one thing that was missing was a trophy in your hands that looks like that. So just what does it mean after 5 years to be able to put yourself in this position and be a PWBA National Tour champion again?
You know, like I did a couple interviews with Bowlers Journal before this event, and even you guys, and they're like, what does it mean? And you know, it was worth the wait. It was worth the blood, sweat, and tears. I knew I could do it, and it just had to fall into place. And you know, my main goal is to be a multi-time titleist, and I did it, and I'm really excited.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
As it should be. So, Bryanna, go enjoy that. I know Cindy's waiting in the room to celebrate. So we'll let you guys enjoy that. But just a phenomenal showing all week throughout the course, even into the last game of to get to the top seed of the Stepladder, and then just that amazing performance. So congratulations. We'll see you at the Hall of Fame Classic in a couple of days. But enjoy it. Thank you for putting on a show here on Bowl TV.
Thank you guys for doing
great bowling. Congratulations.
Thank you guys for everything.
All right, CDB, Tony. Whew, my goodness, what a show.
This was fantastic. What great bowling. I mean, from everybody. I mean, I know Dasha says she didn't, I mean, she had those 2 frames, but just to watch her physically throw the ball, it's enjoyable. So this fantastic. I mean, yesterday, I mean, the last tournament was fantastic too. So please don't get me wrong. So it's very enjoyable. And it's nice to see you had Liz Johnson, the still going Hall of Famer, and you have the future in Jillian Martin. That right there is perfection.
I know. It's great. We got to see it up close and personal. So
yes,
I had a lot of fun watching that.
Yep.
All right, guys. This night wouldn't be complete without the opportunity to talk to Jillian, and she is ready to join us now as well. So let's welcome her in.
Hi.
Hello, Jillian.
Hi, Jillian.
Hi, Jillian.
Hello.
So we've got a really difficult question to start with. Did you have any fun out there today?
Yes, I did. Do not worry. I had tons of fun. It was so exciting. Definitely some nerves too, but hey, it was great.
Where were the nerves at? I didn't see any nerves at all.
Well, you could definitely tell in my last game of like our qualifying match play, that one wasn't too great, but that's all right. But I mean, hey, I just kind of calmed myself down a little bit more when I bowled in Stepladder, and I think I did pretty good. So yeah, they kind of went away.
I would say it did pretty good as well. Yeah,
yeah, I would say phenomenal, but okay, if you want to go with pretty good, whatever. I'm going to ask you, I'm going to go in a little bit of a different direction because I've seen you bowl, obviously. Right. You know, you were, I think, 14 the first time I saw you bowl. From your youth experiences, like the SYC and Junior Gold, what do you take away from that to prepare you to compete in a PWBA event?
Just being able to kind of deal with the moment, deal with the pressure of even being there. I know it's a completely different stage, but just getting to bowl those tournaments and getting some more experience. And bowling against so many great youth bowlers has been awesome. Also bowling on the patterns they put out, just getting some more experience on sport shots. I just use all that stuff to help me get to the next level.
Okay, I have one. Aaron, I know you were going to go, right, Aaron? Can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
Okay, Jillian, what do you think is the strongest part of your game?
Oh, gosh. For me personally, I would say just my power and being able to get to the line. I feel like I think it's special, and I think it's a really cool thing. So I would definitely say that.
Yes.
You are a natural, and at 16, yeah, that is your asset, and it will continue to grow. So I just wanted to hear you said, excellent. Great bowling. Pleasure to watch. You're a pleasure to watch when I see you all the time anyway. This was even better.
Thank you.
Now, Jillian, we've talked so much just about being such a young competitor out in the field, and the moment never seemed too big for you. You think when you maybe take you're off tomorrow, but when do you think this is going to kind of sink in that not only did I make a stepladder final at a PWBA tour event, I beat Liz Johnson, Dasha Kovalova, and went down to the final frame to nearly win my first title?
Honestly, I have no idea. I know it will definitely probably be after the Hall of Fame Classic for sure, but I don't know when I'm fully going to be able to wrap my head around that because it's so crazy.
It was certainly amazing to watch. I think you have the whole bowling world buzzing right now. So I don't know how much you got to check your phone, but potentially a few notifications across the land. So,
and make sure you tell your dad hi.
I will. He's right over there.
Yeah. Did your dad have any fun? I
mean,
as well.
He's got a little bit.
He's gotten a lot of airtime. He's got a big voice that carries through there. Yes. It's great. It's great.
Yes, he does.
All right, Jillian, we're going to let you go for the day, but once again, congratulations on an amazing performance. I know you made so many fans over the course of this tournament and last tournament, and you're going to continue to do that. You're the next big star in bowling, and we love to watch you continue here. So just a phenomenal job. That was so awesome. Congratulations, and we can't wait to see what's next.
Thank you.
I see you in March.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, hey, just real quick, Carolyn, I know you were fishing there when you asked the question about what's the strongest part of her game. I know you were fishing for shot making and making spares, but she said the power. Be still, my heart. Thank you so much for saying, because what she said is I ripped the cover off of it. I will strike every shot if I have to.
And she said her I believe did she say leverage?
Her approach,
her approach. Yeah. I mean, and again, with the power, again, we talked about it. The more you use your legs and you have that leverage going into the line, the more you're going to be able to do at the bottom of the swing, right?
Yeah, that's
Because you're going to
great.
be in a good spot. And she does it naturally. So there you have it.
She does it naturally, but there's a lot of games on that young lady right there that's really, cultivated that fantastic natural ability that she has.
Correct. Yep.
Hey, thanks so much for really coaching everybody up through everything tonight. That was a lot of fun. And really, I think it was, I'm being dead serious, extremely informative for all the listeners just kind of watching the way you dissected it. So thank you. I learned a lot too. I'm ready to go practice right now. Can we open up there? We get a pair somewhere.
No, you're bowling tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. I am bowling tomorrow. I forgot about that.
Side bets.
Oh, no bets. No bets.
Oh, are we not supposed to say that?
Because now, no gambling. But also, now I've got too much in my head. I'm going to be thinking about my knee bend and up the back of it. I'm going to shoot 140 games.
I think we need to do a live every now and then and go, here's how Tony's doing. Here's how CDV's doing.
No, I don't. That doesn't sound like.
And we'll throw Jillian in there too, just to make sure.
Exactly. She'll be busy resting. No, this was fun. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for asking. This was nice to be back on the air.
Absolutely. Thank you to both of you so much for joining us here. Obviously, thanks to the Bowl TV audience. You got to watch a little bit of history there. Jillian Martin making a run at her first PWBA Tour title. Bryanna Cote, though, taking the win in dramatic fashion. Spares kids, that's what you need. Running down that 10-pin like it was nothing to certify that second career PWBA Tour title. We'd like to thank the International Training and Research Center for hosting the PWBA Kickoff Classic, as well as the ITRC Classic. To learn more about this top-notch training facility and to everything it can bring to your game, please visit bowlingitrc.com. But for Tony Franklin, Carolyn, Doran, Ballard, the Hall of Famer, my name's Aaron Smith, folks. Thank you so much for joining us here on Bowl TV for this monumentous day. Just phenomenal overall. But remember, there's more this week. The Kickoff Classic continues. The Arlington Regional tomorrow starts at 3 p.m. Eastern, and then the Hall of Fame Classic on Monday and Tuesday. Create a login. You've already done the hard part, so come back and watch the rest of the week. Tell your friends just about Bowl TV. All this great coverage. PWBA is back. Woo! That's what we like here. So 2 titles in, 1 more to go. We'll be back tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern for the regional. Thank you again for joining us here. And once again, everybody, on Bowl TV, bowling lives here. Thanks, everybody.